Hi, folks. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Right. So today, I'll be talking about the dollar index. Right. You know, this is one of the secrets that I use. To profit of the financial market. Right. The understanding of the dollar index. Right. So I will go into definitions, what the dollar index is, and how you can use it to maximize or the importance of dollar index in your trading. Right. So before we continue, I would like to just go and check up the Google definition of the dollar index, right? So based on Google, I asked you could just search this out. What is dollar index, right? So dollar index, according to the search button, it says it's the index of the value of the United States dollar relative to a basket of foreign countries, often referred to as a basket of US trade partners currency, right? So relatively, it is the measure of the value of the US dollar against the six other foreign currencies, right? Those are the major currencies, right? So now, what is the relevance of the dollar index, right? Dollar index is just like you are measuring the strength of the dollar against um every other currency that exists there is, right? So you know that we have the major pairs such as the GU, the EU, the US, UJ, the AU, the UCHF, and all of that, right? So now we are trying to understand how we can apply the dollar index to our trading, right? So the dollar index is basically the relative strength of the dollar against other pairs. So why should you use the dollar index? It's simple because the dollar index is the dollar is like is the higher let's say the United States of America actually controls a large part of the financial market, right? So that is why when the news is released, like FOMC, the CPI report, PPI report, you see the markets going crazy, even the pairs that are not related to the dollar index, right? That is because the dollar index is, it is the measure of the strength of the dollar, right? So I would like to use charts to explain that, right, in a bit. So let me just take off from all this so that we can understand this. So now I want to say something. Whenever you see that the dollar index, right? So you can find the dollar index on your trading view. So just come here, right? I'll use this to analyze something. So I'll go into practical. So you cannot simply come on here, just type in dollar index, right? I already have it on my watch list, but for teaching sake, just type in dollar index, right? Dollar index. So just come to your asset choice list and then symbol search, then you type in the dollar index, right? So this is it. I have it already here, so I'll just go straight to it, right? So I've already marked something here. I think I should go for the one I have not marked anything on, right? So I'll just flow. This is the one by capital.com, right? So wow, amazing. I marked that it's panning out, right? So this is the dollar index, right? So what am I saying? You use the dollar index to know the strength of the dollar, right? You want to know the strength of the dollar. And now let me just give an analogy so that it could be easier for you, right? So now this is the analogy, right? This is the analogy now. Let me make this all right. So whenever you are analyzing the DXY, right? When the DXY, right, the dollar index, right, DXY, if it's bullish, this is the analogy now. If it's bullish, expect, right, pairs like USD XSX, right? And so let's expect USXX pairs to be bullish, right? So USD XSX pairs to be bullish and XSX USD pairs to be bearish, right? So you know that this is an analogy, right? This is just a simple analogy, very simple, right? So this is an analogy of it. So when the DXY is bullish, maybe the DXY, the structure is bullish or it has reasons to go to the upside, you should expect the USD pairs like the USD JPY, USD CHF, USD um, um, USD JPY, USD CHF, all those pairs that have something USD ZAR, right? Expect those pairs to be bullish. But when the DXY is bearish, expect the pairs that are trading against the USD to be bearish, right? So this is the reverse. So if the USD is bullish, that means the dollar is strong and is going upwards. You should expect pairs that are trading against the DXY to be bearish. pairs such as the GU, EU, and all of that, right? So the USD SSS pairs, let's call it that for you, are USD JPY, those pairs, USD Chef, etc. Right? While the XSX USD pairs are, Euro USD, EUSD, GBP USD, etc., etc. Right? I'm not here to list it. I must give you an example, right? So whenever the DXY is not bullish, expect pairs that have USD at the trading against USD, right, to be bearish, right? So this is just an analogy. So this is how we do it. So this is how I know what to expect in the financial market. And you use the bigger time frame to spot. It's not also using 1 hour or 15 minutes. You're using the bigger time frame so you know what to expect in the long run, right? For instance, look at what happened in the chart, right? Look at this. So I'll just give you some comparison and some contrasts, right? Let's go to Richards now. So this is the dollar index, right? So you can see that the dollar index has been doing what? Has been trading bullish for quite a number of weeks or days or months. I don't know. Let's just measure it and see how long it has been trading. So this has been about 427 days. And so I've had a bullish dollar for 427 days. So let's compare. So you come to your, I want to just compare something so you can believe me, right? So come to the compare button. Let's compare this with USD JPY, right? So let us see if what I'm saying is true, right? Let us see if I'm actually bullshitting you or saying the truth, right? So a new price scale, or it's a new pair, right? So listen, amazing. So this is the USD JPY below. So this is the USD JPY just down here. So right, so this makes this in a line, a candlestick chart, right? So this is it. So can you see what I've just been saying? So this is the USD JPY down here, and this is the DXY up there. So you can see that as the USD has been trading upwards, the pair that is USD JPY has been trading upwards, right? You could see, just look at it, just compare them. Look at the comparison here. You could see this. Let me bring out my tool. So you can see how it has been acting relative, right? You can see that although the exact candlestick are not actually so exact, you can see that as the DXY is going up, you can see that relatively the dollar index has been, the dollar index and the USDPY have been, correlating to a large extent. You can see that. Have you seen how it has been, traded upwards, right? So that's is it. Let us also compare the USD. Let's compare um the USD. Let's see. Let's try USD check, right? Or any other pair. All right, so check. Let's try USD check. Let's see if this has also been aligned, right? So USD check, right? New price scale. This is new price scale this time around, right? So this is it. So I want to make it visible as well. Or let me just undo that. So give me a moment. Now sometimes I'm kind of sloppy with using trading view. Yeah. All right. So all right. So let me just do the same thing. Make it a line chart. So let's say let me make it a candlestick, right? So the red one is the DXY, and the one below is the UJ and the UCHF. You can see that relatively it has been giving what the same thing. Let us also go back to let's use the compare button. Let us just use the new pen that we used, right? So the new pen is better, right? You can see it's relatively easier, right? So this is the candlestick. This is the candlestick down here. And you can see relatively it has been doing what also bullish. Although the structure has not been exact, but look at just let's zoom out and let's see where has it been going. You can see that overall since the look at this from this point, look at this point. So let me bring out which two? Let me bring out my horizontal line. Okay, let me just do the arrow. So look at it from this point, USD was kind of trending down. So you can see that this has also been doing what trading down. The USD chef. Look at what happened. As the dollar index, broke structure and started trading upwards, you can see that this has also been doing what a likelihood of the same thing. And we also been doing what going up and going up, right? So it is just a disclaimer. It is not all usually exactly exact, right? So the DXY could actually be very bullish, but somehow a pair is kind of still stronger than the dollar, right? So there's a possibility that the pair can be stronger than the dollar, and it still happens that way. But I'm not showing you that relatively the USD the dollar index kind of affects the financial market in ways you cannot imagine, right? So let us compare with the pairs that are against the DXY. Like for the example, the Euro USD, right? Or let's start with the BP USD, right? New pair. So that's what I'm teaching you. So this is it. Look at this. Have you seen it? I told you that when it's a pair that's against the US dollar, when its dollar is bullish, the pair is doing the reverse, right? So you could see that as the dollar has been trading higher, because the dollar has been trading higher from this point, because the dollar has been trading higher. But look what the GU has been doing. It has been doing was going lower, right? So we can also bring our candle charts. So you can see that that's been doing just what I've been telling you guys, right? So look at this. That's just been doing was trading lower as what the DXY is doing was trading higher, right? Because they have always been going in the reverse direction. Look at this huge spike. When this huge spike occurs in the dollar index, this point, you can see what happened on the GU, right? It does spike down. So relatively, you could see that this dollar index has been affecting the market in ways you cannot imagine. I will show you how to apply it. I'm not showing you from the bigger time frame perspective, right? So look at this. So this is it. You could see that it was happening. So I think I had a sell set up on USD card, right? I was kind of let me go to my watch list now. So let me go to my watch list, right? So I've showed you what I want to show you guys. It's still the same thing with EU. I don't need to show that number again. So I'm gonna go to my watch list where I mark up my chart and all of that, right? So on my watch list now, so my markup should appear, right? I marked this out like forever. I've been talking about dollar index. I kind of gave this analogy, right? If you don't believe me, please go and watch my weekly forecast. I've been talking about this like forever. But I said that I was expecting price to come back to this S&D zone, this last up move before the break of floor, before the dollar should come down, right? I kind of marked this up. So now, when this happened, I was, trying to sell the USD card, right? So let me bring out my new pay. Let's compare with the U card, right? USD card. It's also on my watch list. All right, so the USD against the Canadian dollar, right? So this is why many of us will try to short USD card, but it did not pan out because of this. All right, so I was trying to sell the USD card. Let us just look at it. So let's bring out the line chart. No, candlestick. Yeah. So this is it. Let me take this out. So I think I was trying to sell the USD card. I was looking at this. You know, I was looking at this for a sell. Let me just mark it out a bit. So just bear with me. So I was kind of there was a break of shut down here, and then we kind of mitigated this and went down. So I was kind of looking at this particular high, to hold and take price lower, right? So when price was around there, I kind of called that a trade. The market was going to sell. I could see it's kind of rejected and it's going higher. Now, why is this market going higher? Why? Because the dollar index had room to do it to go up, right? And at this point, the dollar was also stronger than the Canadian dollar. So when I saw this and I saw that the dollar index was on a bullish run, I had to tell my team that guys, stop trying to sell USD card because fundamentals are kind of driving price higher, right? And the DXY is based on fundamentals, right? Mostly fundamentals, right? And part of technical analysis, right? So I was expecting dollar index to go higher, right, to mitigate this candle that led to a break of structure before coming into this weekly IPA, right? So this is why this did not hold, right? We kind of mitigated this first one, right? It was a massive sell. So I remember calling this trade out. Market came, mitigated this candle. It dropped for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 days, and then it started coming higher. And I was like, okay, let us try this next S&D zone, right? This last institutional candle. If no institutional candle is, please go and watch my videos or my past videos or join my mentorship community, right? Right. So you could see that market came here, but at this point, dollar had what room to go up, right? If the dollar was not giving this bullish run, then maybe this would have held. But due to the fact that dollar had room to go higher, it has this was all liquidity forming at this point here. This was all liquidity, trading liquidity forming here, and you could see price took out liquidity and then was trading higher. So when I saw this, I was like, guys, stop trying to sell you card. Price is going to what? Going to go higher, and you could see that as a result of this DXY movement, the dollar would trade higher. So maybe the market is trying to come to mitigate this candle properly, right? So maybe there was a kind of imbalance here. I don't know. So maybe when I do the weekly forecast, I'll kind of look deep into this. So this is why I was like, all right, stop trying to sell your USD card, and you could check my Telegram community if you want to confirm if I said all this. If you don't believe me, that's your business, right? So this is it. This is the brass tacks, folks. If you're trying to trade a USD pair specifically, always try to look at the dollar index, right? Before if you trade the JPY pairs, you use a Japanese yen in baskets, right? So I'm showing you that this is how you're able to predict price movement using market structure, using the dollar index, right? Especially if you're like me that trade the dollar index, the dollar pairs. Like I trade dollar pairs mostly. I trade EU, GU, USD card, GJ. GJ is kind of separate, right? Forgive me. So USD, I trade on most of the USD pairs, GU, EU, and USD card, right? Sometimes use UJ, but I don't really focus on UJ because they are two safe haven currencies, and I don't want to be messing with those two currencies, right? So this is it, folks. This is what I want to just show you guys. So whenever you're doing analysis, always pay attention to the USD card, right? So see you in the next video. If you have not joined, if you have not liked this video, please click the like button, subscribe. Do what to encourage me. Drop a comment if you have any issues with this. If you want to join my mentorship community, the link is in the description. It's a one-time payment, and you join my son that killing it. We have pro-firm traders, full students, cool students, and all of that, right? So see you in the next video. So until next time, stay safe.